All right. Good afternoon, Dana. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I just want to say that your resume is very impressive and definitely the skill set that we look for here in Volusia County and that we are seeking. Definitely skill set that is highly placeable in this area. So we're glad you're here.
Awesome.
And so you're going to be living in the Port Orange area?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, perfect. You already have your house and everything's all set up. You're just waiting on the job.
Yes, we have a property down there as well. We go back and forth. Got married in Volusia a couple of years ago, so
Okay.
we're constantly down in the area.
Okay, great. And we did talk a little bit about your education. You do have your bachelor's degree in science and biology.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, wonderful. So after you got your degree, let's go from there. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your work history?
Well, after I graduated college, my first job was at a company called Agrana Fruit. And I was with Agrana for a little over 5 years. And when I worked at Agrana, I actually held two different positions with them. I started off as the process and technology assistant. In that role, I helped purchasing approve new fruit locations and fruit vendors. I helped set up the how all of the products ran in our systems based on bench samples from the product developers. And I also worked with the quality and the production managers at the three production plants that Agrana had, troubleshooting problems that they had if they were, making products that were producing rework or things that were falling out of spec. I helped them resolve those issues. Um, then I went from that role to being a product developer myself at Agrana. I was managing the largest account that they had at the time. It was Dannon US and Danone Canada. I helped them develop new lines or line extensions for their products, did specifications, ran nutritional labeling, monitored production trials and first runs of new products. I did color and flavor formulation work for them. Also, as well, I managed working with flavor suppliers and other ingredient suppliers, getting new materials in for production trials and for launches and coordinating the timing of all of that. Then I went from that role to another company called Custom Culinary. There, my title was food scientist. That was a very small company, so I was pretty much the jack of all trades. I worked with our corporate chefs and our customers' corporate chefs to develop new products, which was like sauces and sides and dressings, things of that type of nature. Then I also worked with our vendors on new ingredients, setting pricing and sourcing, because again, small company, so there wasn't other departments to do that. I ran nutritionals and I made specs. I set up the processing instructions at the plant. And then I also helped the plant with running the products and if they had any issues. There as well, I worked with the USDA because they were a USDA facility for some of our products. Again, working with the FDA, and then they did have some organic products as well. Then I went from that company to Fannie Mae Confections Brands, which is now called part of the Ferrero Group. Ferrero Confections bought them, so they're part of that large corporation now.
Oh yeah, the little candy.
Ferrero, yeah, the Ferrero USA. Yeah. So, but I was the quality control supervisor there. I worked there 8 years. I managed all the technicians over 3 shifts, and including a technician at each of our 2 offsite distribution centers. Did all of the hiring, firing, performance reviews and stuff for the staff. I determined what checks and records that they kept throughout the shift and make sure that that was being done. We monitored incoming material delivery, did environmental monitoring. I did a little bit of plating as well. We did have a lab on site. We did not do pathogenic plating, but we did things like yeast and molds and plate counts and non-pathogenic type testing. I did vendor approval, managed and wrote specifications for our products, wrote a lot of SOPs. Their quality system that they had is they were a SQF facility, Safe Quality Foods, which is pretty much like an ISO type program. I managed that program for them, and most of my tenure that I was there, I was actually the main practitioner for the audit. If I was not the main practitioner, I had a heavy hand in the audit. I did the hold and release program, managed and responded to customer complaints. And then also I did a lot of the nutritional labeling using Genesis software. Then I went from that company to a company called Hickory Harvest Foods. At Hickory Harvest, I was the quality assurance manager. As the quality assurance manager at Hickory Harvest Foods, I managed R&D, the sanitation department, and quality. All of that reported up through me. So I think it was a total of about 13 employees at various levels in the organization, because I had supervisors and then I had technicians as well. So a lot of the duties that I did at Hickory Harvest were very similar to what I had at Fannie Mae, except it was at a higher level because I had budgetary responsibility over those 3 departments. I selected and managed our contract service providers, like our chemical provider, our pest control provider. I developed and maintained an employee training matrix. And did a lot of like vendor approval, and then worked with like some lean initiatives too with the production floor. Then I went from—
And that was all at Hickory Harvest.
That was
correct?
at Hickory Harvest,
Okay.
yes.
And then you moved over to Custom Pack.
Yes, and then my next role then is I was like a contract position quality manager at Custom Pack. Custom Pack was a co-packer of goods only. They did not produce on site themselves. They just brought in people's products, packaged them, and then shipped them out.
Okay.
They were an extremely small company and never had quality on site before, and they were looking to get into packaging for somebody. It was a large national manufacturer of dish soap. So this company wanted Custom Pack to be compliant with both their quality management system and then also the ISO standard for cosmetics. Even though it's not a cosmetic, that's how they like their product packaged.
Yeah.
And then also packaged to the CGMP standard for cosmetics. So since I had, experience implementing quality management systems and working in a CGMP environment and all of that, they brought me in to basically develop programs and records that were compliant with their internal quality management program and then the ISO standard for cosmetics, and then help them implement CGMPs. So once I had all of that implemented and running smoothly there, then basically I handed off the project back for them to manage then in-house. When that was completed, then that brought me to Euro USA, where I'm currently employed.
Okay.
My title here is the Food Safety Compliance Manager, but I basically manage their quality programs here at the company. We do manage fish processing. We have some cheese slicing and processing that we do here, from big blocks or wheels of cheeses to smaller portions. And then we do a lot of in and out distribution too. We're much more of a distribution heavy company than a processing company. So I have my hand in some of that quality management of like that distribution side as well. And then here I also do manage the sanitarian and manage our sanitation program. So that also reports in through me. But basically, you know, I manage the selection of like our contract service providers, again, like chemicals and pest control. They play a very big role of implementing the training, and do a lot of training and orientation training for new employees, manage the training matrix. I manage vendor approval, master sanitation schedule, write SOPs, and that just brings me to the present moment now.
Sure. Okay. Wonderful. I was looking at all my questions, and my gosh, like I'm, if you saw me like marking things down, I'm like, okay, she just answered that. She answered that. So, I think that was a really, really good overview, basically, of your experience. Extremely transferable skill set. I'm just looking here to see if I missed anything. Oh, your Six Sigma green belt, bachelor's degree. Let's see here.
Yes, I did attend a relatively lengthy Six Sigma class through the University of Akron.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a green belt level certificate from the University of Akron.
Okay, great. And you've got PCQI certified, seafood, HACCP. Okay, well, this is all on your resume, so I think that's fair. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop this part of the interview, because I think that we've gone over a lot here, and this was supposed to be an overview. So I really appreciate you being so detailed and explaining everything basically to a T. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this part, but don't go anywhere. We got a few more things to talk about.